Still working on my game. Put a lot of work into it lately. I've been doing a lot of work outside of the house too. At work and in the gym and the yard work and shit, but still spending all the free time I can gather on this, which is still a pretty good significant portion because I'm a single 36-year-old male. And I'm wise to the fact that as a single 36-year-old male, I should opt to enjoy myself and my leisure as often as I possibly can. And so I do. That said, I'm giving England, UK, Scotland, formerly Scotland, still Scotland, but it's now part of the UK. It's all the United Kingdom nowadays, whereas before it was loyal to Scotland. Now it's all the United Kingdom. We're all English. Well, no, technically, and I just learned this recently. This is England. Or something like that. This is Wales. And this is Britain. Something like that. I know for a fact that this is Wales. I'll tell you that. And that's what I just recently studied. And I did all the population adjustments. I redid the infrastructure. Added a couple new places to fill it out. Labeled some of the facilities that were there. Added some of the facilities that weren't. Took the coal mines from up here, put them down here where there was more of them. I don't think there's actually any coal in the ground here. I think it's all here. And that's where all the coal in Wales is. There's also some up here, some here, and a little bit up here, I think. That's according to my 2005 atlas, regardless. Could be wrong, could be right. I don't really care. I just like having a reliable point of reference to implement data into my game, and as long as it is from a reputable source, I'm okay with stating that as a fact. So that's what I just did. This is where my coal is now. Or United Kingdom's coal. I don't think there's any in Ireland at all, but I could be wrong. It's also a lowland. Coal forms, just like petroleum, forms from lowlands where there's constant still water present with high volumes of vegetation that dies in the still water, layers on top of itself, rots essentially and breaks down, sinks into the earth and forms sedimentary rock, which is, I think it's it eventually becomes like an anthracite, which is, coal. But there's several different types of coal. I don't know it in detail. I know that anthracite is the major one, or the major rock that is pretty much all carbon. And then eventually coal will turn into petroleum, as far as I know. I think coal is simply the first phase of decayed plant matter or organic matter turning into petroleum. Realistically, we could never run out of petroleum on this planet. We can actually make it. That's what synthetic oil is. It's man-made oil. It's been around for quite a while. Actually, since around this era. Anyway, here's the coal mines. I put a nice little shopping center there because I didn't feel like writing a file for it, but I did write files for half a dozen airports. There was going to be Middle Wales Airport goes here in like 1990. I chose that year because that's right around the time the guy finally achieved his goals of putting down a hard runway and creating an airport. So that's Middle Wales Airport. Cardiff will receive an airport. Swansea will get an airport, and over here will be an air base with a radar station and a military airfield in the center. So it'll have a field, a reserve, and radar there. There will be an airfield going here in like 2007. Otherwise, I have airfield military going right around here, 1941. I have an aircraft construction urban and an aircraft hangar urban going I believe here, Lanelli. And that'll be in November of 39. Could be Swansea, I could be wrong. I have the coordinates written down, so I won't get it wrong when I put it in the data. And otherwise, there will also be an aircraft production there as well. Alright, that's getting pretty sloppy in my description, so I'm going to walk away from that now anyway. We did the terrain, we did Scotland. Loch Ness is now on the map. That's Loch Ness right there, that big giant greenish swampy looking strip. That's where it is, the lowland in between two mountain ranges. And labeled the hydropower stations in Scotland. Added Fort William. There's going to be a barracks and a land production facility established here in 1940. There's going to be a seaport established in Jamaica. Right here. I don't know why that turned into a complex and a tourist attraction. I'll have to look into that. But that's where the port's going to go in 2010. It'll start construction. I got to fix that. And in addition to the terrain upgrades, look, Sweden's now no longer bright green. I finally got all my X-Files dialed in as far as getting that shit covered up. Now I'm dialing him in further to really tighten up this graphic appearance, this interface's appearance. Blending, lifting, rolling hills, creating peaks. There's like literally like, I'm not even like taking a long shot when I say there's 20 different ways, and none of them are the only way you can modify an image file. You can modify it in so many different ways, and there's no wrong way to do it. You can do a little bit to it and you did a good job and you did it right, or you can do a lot more to it and you did a good job and you did it right. You don't have to do every step of the process to complete a terrain mesh, but you can do them all as well. And none of it's really, guided. You have your choice. You have options. You can modify this game, the graphics,